In case you missed it over the weekend, we did a live engine assembly, installation, fire up, cam break-in, all on Andy's GTX. So this thing is like ready to go to the next step, which is to give it a tune-up, bleed the brakes, put all of that stuff in, and she's good to go. It went off fantastic. We had a lot of fun. The Junkyard Jet guys were here, turning wrenches. Awesome work, awesome work. And Andy brought down his friend Mark. Mark, nice meeting you, man. Nice working with you. Thank you. So we had a blast, and everything went really well. So, but there's always a catch. There's always a catch. So one of the first catches happened last week when we got the camshaft for this engine. We went to put it in, and we found that the journals were oversized. And we did that video. I'll have to put a link to the video wherever she puts it, in case you didn't see that one. And the follow-up on that is that the company sent the cam. I mean, they did this lightning fast. They sent me the cam. I had it on, we sent it out Monday. I had it on Wednesday. I checked every lobe. I checked every relationship, every measurement, right down to the taper of each lobe. And it was dead on. And it went in here with old TRW lifters. Andy went and found some vintage, like 30-year-old boxes. TRW lifters, and that's what was in here, and perfect, no problems. So, thank you to the company. But there was another hitch, and this was great. This is great. Okay, so these plug wires right here, okay, these plug wires are reproduction 426 Hemi plug wires, and they are beautiful. I mean, they look exact. I mean, the logos and just all of the details. They really did a nice job reproducing these wires. So Andy bought these from one of the vendors. There's several vendors that carried them, and these go for about $200 a set. So I mean, they're not crazy expensive, but they're certainly not bargain spark plug wires. So after we put it all together and it was time to get it set to run, we took the brand new box, the unopened box with these plug wires in it, and stuck them in. And everything was fine, everything looked good, until we put the spark plugs in. So we put the spark plugs in and go to drop the wires onto the spark plugs, and the spark plug doesn't meet the metal that's in there. So you've got the metal, like on this end here, you've got the receiver for the spark plug. But there's a gap, and I can't tell you exactly what the gap is, but it's at least 1/4 of an inch, maybe more, so that when this plug wire is down where it's got to be, it's as far in as it can go, the plug doesn't snap into the wire. There's a gap in there. So these things are actually just being held down by this rubber grabbing the ceramic part of the spark plug. But even worse than that is, because there's a gap, it will eventually, these are carbon core wires. So because there's a gap here, it'll eventually burn the wire. 300 miles, 500 miles, something in that range, not very far. So that's a problem, and it's not a simple matter with these plugs. Everything is rubber, and it's all molded kind of together, and it's not a simple matter of just sliding the wire up into the, this doesn't give very well. So I was like, that's a problem, but we're going to have to figure out what to do with that as we go. And I'm thinking to myself, well, we'll lubricate these things as best we can and disassemble them and fish the wire out. But somebody who doesn't know about that, doesn't know how they're supposed to fit and how they're supposed to clip onto the spark plug, they would never pick up on that, and they would end up with misfires and all sorts of issues as a result of that. So, okay, so we chalk that up, and we start the motor, and it's running good, and we're doing our cam break-in, and as I'm operating the throttle on it, so you got the wires for the odd bank of the engine laying over, like so, okay? Actually, exactly like this. And as I'm leaning over, my arm brushed against the wires and I got lit up. Obviously we're in the middle of a cam break-in, so I can't stop what I'm doing, right? So I just made sure I didn't touch the wires again. I'm saying, well, maybe we nicked one, maybe there's a, a cut in one of the wires, but no. Afterwards, I examined each of them, and there are no nicks, there are no marks, there's nothing. But one of these wires, and I don't know exactly which one it is because, like I said, there were no nicks, but one of these wires is faulty enough, has a break in the internal insulation or something that allowed enough of a voltage that, I mean, literally, I'm like this, and then I got zapped. Brand new, not bargain basement, what appear to be beautifully crafted plug wires, and they're junk. Like it's literally not usable. I have no idea what the defect is. Andy actually has a set of old plug wires, like from the 70s or the 80s, that he had with one of these engines, and we're going to put those back on because they're in beautiful condition. But, I mean, it's just indicative of this is what we're up against. Everything is junk. It's all junk. You really got to look over everything. You can't trust anything anymore. Brand new, out of the box, never installed, never handled, stuck on the engine. And not only don't they fit, but they leak voltage too. Badly. Check everything. Trust nothing. We're getting to that point. Next week, we'll have this thing actually together and running. Send it on its way. So, that's it, guys. If you missed, like I said, if you missed the build, it's like 4 or 5 different installments. It's all up. You can watch every single minute of it, including watching the paint dry. We set up a camera. We set up a camera over there. We had the motor with the paint drying. We set up the camera overnight, and it ran for like 11 hours. And we had people all night. It was like a chat room, watching paint dry on a Hemi. That's it. Better stuff tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow.